What's good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Spooky season is wrapping up real soon, and trying to finish the Patreons who had requests revolving around said month, and I got a few more, and I'll get through them. But going back to one of my patrons, Jimmy, and last time I did it, he wanted me to do my top 10 list of DC supernatural or mystical heroes. I did that. Had a lot of fun putting that together. Go check it out. This time around, he wanted me to do a list of 10 of supernatural, mystical, Marvel supervillains. So, villains who are into supernatural, mystical things like that. Now, what villain you won't see on the list, I'm excluding him, is my favorite villain of all comics, Doctor Doom. Now, yes, Doctor Doom has ties to mysticism and supernatural. He can do alchemy, he can do sorcery, things like that, yes. But I'm going to leave him out of it and focus on those characters that are really, truly kind of in the fold of supernatural mystic, which mostly you would see Doctor Strange dealing with, or Avenger level threats. Okay? So we're going to leave that out. So I got 10 for you. I hope you enjoy, and let's do this. Yeah. Number 1 on the list, we're starting with Dormammu. Dormammu, of course. If you didn't think I was gonna not have this character on the list, you're bugging. You're bugging. Dormammu, the Lord and ruler of the Dark Dimension. Now it's funny. His niece is the wife of Doctor Strange, Clea. But Dormammu's always been a threat. I always loved Dormammu. I always thought he was a cool character. And sure, he got a little bit shafted in the first Marvel movie. I really wish he wasn't in the first Doctor Strange movie, but we might see him again, hopefully. And he is a threat. He's a major threat. And I always, whenever he is in a book, it's serious. It's serious time. And so yes, Doctor Strange is pretty much one of his big bads, Dormammu. Number 2 on the list, we go to Chthon. He's the demon and was a former elder god. Yeah, they're elder gods in Marvel. And believe it or not, he is the creator of the Darkhold. You don't see him as much, but when you do see him in the comics and things like that, it's always not a good deal. But yeah, his big claim to fame is, yes, the Darkhold, the book that you've seen in. I'm not speaking for just people who watched just the cinematic universe, but comics, the Darkhold, that book of black magic and witchcraft and all that. He wrote that. Number 3, Morgan Le Fay. Yes, this Marvel has their own version of the character from like King Arthur and things like that, Morgan Le Fay. And in Marvel, she's the most powerful sorceress in Marvel, and she is always a threat. Whenever she is in these books, she's a threat. Even Doctor Doom knows to fear her. And I believe they did have her live action, but in a series that is not canon, and that was, I believe, the Runaways. I believe beautiful Elizabeth Hurley played her, which I was like, whoa, okay. But yeah, Morgan Le Fay is she's dangerous, she's bad. It depends, because one thing there are different tales, because especially in books that I've read, it's either sometimes she's a villain and sometimes she's not. So I always wonder about that. But in Marvel, she's a villain. She's a straight villain, straight up. Number 4, Dracula. I could not have Dracula in there. Marvel's Dracula design is so badass. It went from the stereotypical like Bela Lugosi look that we've seen early on, like the Tomb of Dracula, and now he looks like a vampiric Transylvanian or Eastern European knight. He always looked just badass, and I believe Dracula is public domain, so anybody could use him. And I would love to see Marvel bring this version of him into the cinematic universe. And who knows? Like I said, it would be amazing to see. So yes, and Dracula's around. Like, he's always around. Like, he never, every time you think you, but he comes back. He's cool. Number 5, I had a little doubts of putting this character on there, but I was like, you know what? Despite some things about him, well, just one particular story, he's still somebody who is a threat, and he's been a threat over time. And that character is Mephisto. Mephisto, the devil-like demon. He's another one from another dimension, fiery dimension. There are several devil, Satan-looking characters in Marvel, but he's probably the most famous. Of course, you know, his ties to Zarathos and, you know, Ghost Rider, because that's the demon that's in Johnny Blaze. The father of Blackheart, and whenever Mephisto is in the human world, it's not good. I believe now in the comics he's stuck in Sin City, Vegas. I think Doctor Strange trapped him there. Like, he can't leave Vegas now, so he's stuck in Vegas. He can't leave it. But yeah, Mephisto's cool. I think we all want to see him in the MCU, and I can't remember how many times we kept thinking, oh, that's him in Wanda and WandaVision, but it would have been cool to see him. I still think we could see him, and I still think if do it right, make him look like a devil, like the devil that he is, you know. Don't trust him. Trust me, you wouldn't like him. Don't trust him. DTA. Number 6 on the list, Nightmare. Another classic and great character from pretty much the world of Doctor Strange. Nightmare feeds off your nightmares, your dream. He's like he's kind of like a succubus that feeds off of your dreams and your nightmares. He comes from another realm, another dimension. His daughter just recently showed up in the Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch was dealing with her in her series. But Nightmare is another character that I do like and not used as much, but I would love to see him show up more in the comics, as well as show up in the MCU. I believe he was going to be used in the sequel to Doctor Strange, but they chose not to. I still would have liked to see him. Doctor Strange has some good underrated villains that I think a lot of people, they get pushed aside because of the more popular villains. Number 7, Blackheart. We talked about his father, now we're talking about Blackheart. Blackheart is another one who's always trying to outdo his father. It's not a I love you, Dad, no, it's more like I hate you, but I want to be better than you. I want to be the ruler. And Blackheart tends to find himself doing that at times. His classic look where he looks like kind of like just a big hulking monster is the one I like. I know they did a different look for him a while back. I think when he showed up when he was in Chicago and Sam was out there and he was disguised himself as the mayor of Chicago. I'm not even joking. Blackheart did that, and he had a different look. It was really weird. He looked sickly, but yeah, I do love Blackheart. You know, he's just we need to see the real Blackheart, not that garbage that we saw in, you know, Ghost Rider. Number 8 on the list, another Doctor Strange villain, probably his arch villain, Baron Mordo. Love Baron Mordo. Love Baron Mordo as well. You know, like I said, Doctor Strange, underrated villain. His rogues gallery is so underrated, but very much cool. And when you think about mystical and mysticism, yeah, you're thinking about Baron Mordo. He's up there. Mordo is Doctor Strange's arch nemesis, and you know, always thinks he's, you know, the ego's there. I'm better than him, and you know, I'm not gonna say that because he's not MJF, but yeah, he thinks that, and you know, Mr. I'm forgetting his name, Chuck of War, I believe. You know, I didn't mind him as Mordo in the MCU. I just, you know, and then when they brought him back, you know, it's just a little weird. You know, you just kind of want him to be the villain. It is what it is. Number 9, Shoma Gothra. The big eye, the demon, squid-like demon. Now, he did show up in the MCU, but they had to change his name and do a lot of things. But yeah, whenever he shows up too, it's like dun dun dun. The last time I saw him, he showed up in, I believe it was Mighty Avengers, and Blue Marvel dealt with him. You know, Blue Marvel pierced right through his eye, like shot through his eye and kicked his ass. But outside of that, yeah, like he's still like a character you don't really screw with to a degree unless someone is all over his level. That's why hence Blue Marvel was able to take him out. Even Doctor Strange has had tough times with him, but he's not used as much as of late. But you know, still I had to give it I have to put him on the list. And number 10 on the list, we're going with Amara the Enchantress. Oh my God, the Enchantress has always been that threat to Asgard and the Asgardians and Thor, and especially Sif, because it's not that she's just bad to be bad. She's bad because she wants the affection of Thor. That is true, that she wants the same affection of Thor. If I'm not mistaken, in the comic wise, she is responsible. It's her or Loki that's responsible for why Lady Sif has black hair, because they fucked with her and messed her hair up, made her hair black, and thought, oh, if she made her hair black, Thor would not still love her, but that wasn't the case. He did. But Amara's another powerful, you know, she's a very powerful Asgardian, but also very powerful from magic as well. She's almost on the same level as the Asgardian, Carilla, yeah. I forget her name. Yeah, Carilla. But yeah, Amara's definitely up there. Another Asgardian or villain that I wanted to see in the MCU, but we never got to see her, and I still felt like we still could see her, but I think it's kind of way too late, because there's still tons of Asgardians we haven't seen, but I think they'll just mess them up because they just messed up the Asgardians, in my opinion. But the actress who I could have seen playing the Enchantress, believe it or not, was Julia Benz. Probably you guys know her, famous for playing Darla in Angel. I think she would have nailed that character. But I'm just a geek, right? Well, there you guys have it. 8 supernatural or mystical Marvel supervillains that I love. That's 10. I said 8. What's your list? Please leave your list in the comment section down below. Thank you, Jimmy, again for this list. You got 2 more that I have to knock out. They're all good thing they're all, and I'll probably have them. I'll have them up before all these horror, Halloween theme up before Halloween ends. So yeah, Halloween ends. Yeah. But outside of that, you guys take care.